Hey Troopers, so we are here at Retromania on a new Brownsville show, and there's a lot of stuff. We are walking in finally into the showroom, so let's see what we find.
Retromania 2024, let's go. We start off right here with some Black Series goodness, of course. We do have some of the sabers. There's that nice Leia hilt. We got also some helmets, of course. That famous Rey saber, I should say Ross saber. Revan, of course, very beautiful design. We got a little bit of the Holiday Troopers. We got some Power of the Force as well. And then we have a lot of Funko Pops right there. This next spot had everything, starting with some Haslab goodness, some Funko Pops that seemed pretty important to me, and then they had these beautiful Ahsoka Tano lightsabers from Legacy set. Very cool, especially in that box. But look at over here, they also got some really good stuff in that cabinet. Right on the top, they got the Vintage Collection Millennium Falcon. Inside, we got some vintage carded figures, as well as some TMNT, some He-Man. We even saw some white box Mandalorian. Of course, the Ecto 1, this beautiful graded vintage Boba Fett. Then we got a lot of TMNT, also vintage, some Hot Wheels. We do have also that beautiful Batwing from Kenner, that cool G.I. Joe mask and fighter plane. Some more Funkos, and sorry, I don't know many Funkos. Now, this is something you don't see very often. We had some Barbies, and maybe because of the movie, right? But it was cool to see. This spot always brings the heat when it comes to 12-inch figures, and they got everything under the sun. Pretty much every property that you loved from the 60s, 70s, and 80s is represented in there. They had some cool collection of Funkos as well. A lot of Marvel Legends, some Ghostbusters. This spot has a lot of Motu stuff. As you can see, some of it loose, some of it packaged. Most of it vintage, and of course there are some retro and current ones, but yeah, very Motu centric definitely. They also had a few of the Thundercats, as you can see right there, a little bit of Ghostbusters, a few assorted like Power Rangers, and check this out, Mombra's Lair, which I thought was so cool. 400 bones, a little bit too pricey for my blood. Here we got some of the stuff that we love, which is Star Wars, of course, and these are all the way from 2002 collection, and some of these deluxe sets are still pretty cool, to be honest with you, especially like those accessory packs. They were in pretty good shape, but I haven't gotten back to that collection just quite yet. They also had some anime stuff, which Trigon, which is kind of crazy to see some of these figures. You know, it's been a long time. They had some Night Stalkers as well, and some Devilman, but a little bit vintage, I would say. Some more random anime stuff like DBC and Pokemon. Then we cap it up with some more modern Star Wars and some of the Toy Box collection as well. Next up, we got some video game guides. This is how we beat games back when there was no YouTube. Of course, a lot of video games at this spot. We have some PS4, we got Xbox 360, and keeping up with the theme, we got some cool Zelda collectibles. Some of the stuff looks pretty vintage, honestly. Some Game Boy stuff, and as well as some Voltron. We got, of course, Pokemon. So a lot of cool stuff at this spot, as you can see. We also got some Super 7 Ultimates for Disney. And we got this very cool collection for Conan, also from Super 7. And then just some random, you know, figures, some older stuff for Conan as well. Of course, a little bit of Star Wars. And we have also horror, which is very popular nowadays. Very cool t-shirt spot where you can pretty much find anything geek related. Awesome place. This guy always brings the heat when it comes to Hot Toys. Check out those giant statues for Star Wars up there. Darth Vader and Moff Gideon look amazing. So he always brings very cool stuff. Here we got something that I personally had not seen, which are these awesome Thundercat big figures, 225. Again, a little bit too rich for my blood, but he did have a lot of very cool stuff. Check out that Shogun Warrior inbox. And of course, you know me, I love Godzilla. He had some very cool kaijus, as you can see here. Some of it, you know, a little bit older, some of it a little bit newer, but all of it very, very cool. Of course, a little bit of TMNT. Here, something you don't see every day, Lord of the Rings figures. I don't know why they're not more popular. This set, I'm not sure why it was 125, you know, for a Gundam. Little bit of Transformers. We got a lot of Power Rangers, some cool stuff, some G.I. Joe, some retro TMNT, some Avatar, of course, a little bit of Star Wars, and a whole bunch of comic books. I don't collect comic books, but they definitely were cool to see. Gentle Giant, Moff Tarkin, Vader helmet, you know, and Lunchbox, a bunch of Funko Pops, of course, and some wrestling. Some more video games, Nintendo 64 cartridges, Game Boy, Xbox. We also have some Lucy's, some Thundercats, some Star Wars, some wrestling, this cool Jetfire, and yes, I believe this is technically Jetfire, and you know, some of the Marvel 3.75. Princess of Power. This spot has quite a bit of really cool vintage stuff. So like I said, we have some Princess of Power, we have some Indiana Jones. Check out this Rambo vehicle up there. We have also, again, Thundercats. I don't know, is it making a comeback? And we also get some Transformers, some G.I. Joe Classifieds, a lot of Power Rangers. Since there are a lot of Power Ranger guests at this convention, it just kind of makes sense. I especially love this little Micro Machine Power Ranger ones, but they're kind of expensive. Last time I asked, they were like 90 bucks. So you let me know down in the comments if that's a fair price or not. We have even some Mezco Batman, which I thought was pretty cool. And behind bars, he brings the heat. Check out that scratch on card for TMNT, along with a few graded figures as well. Of course, we got, you know, one of the holy grails of the comic packs for Star Wars, and a lot of vintage carded stuff, which is gorgeous. You know, check out that beautiful Power of the Force R2D2 for $900 cool dollars. Again, yeah, very well outside my budget. Over on this spot, we did have some cool Power Rangers. Check out that Thunder Megazord. I actually had that one as a kid, so it's very cool to see that those are making a comeback. You know, you get to see them more often now. Some random stuff, and I thought this was particularly cool because they actually had sort of like a bootleg Megazord, and you know, some people collect only bootlegs, so I thought it was cool to see in the show. Some Star Wars Black Series, some Marvel, and of course Lego making, you know, its introduction as usual. A lot of video games at this convention. Of course, it is called Retromania, so it totally makes sense. So if you guys are into that, definitely check it out. Some VHSs, which again, speaking of retro, right? Got some movies, got some Power Ranger episodes. We got some Wii games for Star Wars, some anime. This spot is more of an antique store, and I'll let you watch because I really don't know much about what they bring. I know it's old, including, you know, some tin toys and things like that. But you let me know down in the comments if you notice a book, a record, maybe a tin toy, or even some cans, right? I know there's people that collect cans. You let me know if you see something special here. this is something you don't see every day. Silverhawks on a card back. We got Flashback in a very, very nice bubble, amazing shape. Again, definitely not something you see very often. We also got the HasLab for a cool 500 bucks, I think. And we got the first G.I. Joe classified Snake Eyes for 200 bones. I actually own this one. I love the packaging of this figure. Here we also got plenty of G.I. Joe retros and some vintage ones even. Various prices, all very good shape to be honest. So I was very surprised. We got this cool multi-pack for Cobra La. Come on now, that's amazing. Sergeant Slaughter's Renegade for 300 bucks. So very, very cool stuff here, both vintage and modern. Look at the colors on that packaging. I don't even know who that guy is. He just looks so cool. He also has, of course, some Transformers. And as you can see, a little bit of modern, a little bit, you know, more exclusive stuff. And we got some big box items like those combiners right there. We also got some versions, of course, of Optimus Prime. Various collections. Again, I don't really know Transformers that much, so sorry if I'm missing, you know, something here. But I thought that was a cool Japanese, you know, packaging from Takara. So it's always very cool to see foreign stuff. We got some Muscle multi-packs as well. He has a couple of them. Very, very cool. Something that I collect, Marvel Legends Spider-Man retro card. I have most of these, but I saw Peter Parker that caught my eye. Some more Barbie, which I'm assuming because of the movie, you know, they are definitely putting out more. Look at that beautiful Jurassic Park Command compound. That is definitely something you don't see every day also, especially in box. Got some Lost World Dino Strike. We got some Ecto 1 as well. And some original figures from the first Jurassic Park movie, which I think is very, very cool. We got some Kenner Batman from the '89 Burton movie. And we had actually a lot of gargoyles. I know gargoyles are definitely coming up in popularity, but I'll be honest with you, by looking back at some of these figures, seeing them again, they're not quite great. You know, we got the beautiful NECA nowadays, and of course these will always be popular amongst collectors because they are the originals, but I don't know, like I said, some of them are not that great looking. Not bad prices definitely, and he had quite a bit, including some of the series too. But yes, so not the best looking figures overall. Look at that TMNT retro, or sorry, vintage. We also have some vehicles in box, a lot of carded TMNT. Again, this place has quite a good stuff when it comes to vintage. Some more TMNT down here, and a little bit of X-Men. So we got Weapon X for 200 bucks, which I thought was kind of crazy. Not again, just he had a lot of stuff that you don't really see every day. We got still some Turtles on card, and that cool Super Shredder. I used to love that figure when I was a kid. Some playsets along with some Star Trek TMNT. Not their best line if I'm being honest, but hey, still a classic, right? Sewer playset, again in box, very, very cool. Along with a turtle band from NECA and the new sewer layer. Alright, so check that out. Also from Playmates, the original turtle band. Some more of the newer stuff. And again, that beautiful NECA packs. We got a few multi-packs, again from NECA. A lot of TMNT here. We got that Kino for 150 bucks. And April O'Neil. And some Scumbag. And a few Lucy TMNT as well. Including this gorgeous bigger turtle, you know, based on the movie. Jumping over to the Star Wars stuff, of course, we got the 30th anniversary collection, which is one of my favorite collection. That they gave us so many characters, so many variations. That was a very, very nice line back then. Again, more than 10 years ago, right? Of course, you know, some good stuff here, including some of the gold coins. We got some of the stuff from the video games. We do have some of the Dark Skies, you know, clone troopers, which have gone up in a little bit in price, to be honest. Not all of them, but you know, a lot of them still. So Airborne Strike Trooper, again on the gold coin. We got that cool Dark Trooper, which of course have becoming a lot more popular thanks to the Mandalorian. And got some good stuff, you know, like the Macquarie versions of the figures, which I personally love, and I can't wait for Black Series to actually put them out more. You got some more special and variation figures here. Power of the Force got that weak way with the freeze frame, and check it out. So that's when he's pushing Luke Skywalker into the Sarlacc pit. From the Vince collection, we got Darth Sidious on that nice foil pack, and of course Bastila Sean, $150. That's, I need that figure actually. Very cool diorama with the ATST based off of Return of the Jedi. And we got Slave Leia and Stormtrooper also from the Vince collection. And then of course this gorgeous Legacy collection Millennium Falcon. ARC Trooper, which I like to call Captain Fordo because that's really what he is from the Expanded Universe. $150. And some more of the 30th anniversary. Of course, we got some Boba Fett. We got Darth Maul for $10. We got a cool Shadow Stormtrooper for $15. Obi-Wan from Dark Skies, $15. I have him already, so I did not pick him up. Prototype Boba Fett with the silver coin for $25. So overall, not bad. Definitely not bad prices. One of my favorite packagings ever is from this 2009 Clone Wars and Legacy collection. I always love those helmet card backs, to be honest. Very, very cool figure, of course. Clone Trooper, or Clone Commander, I should say, Obi-Wan Kenobi. And we got Clone Wars Anakin, very popular nowadays, along with Clone Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi. So I have most of these figures, that's why I did not pick them up. Now, it's something you don't see also. Again, I keep saying that on this spot, but it really is true. Some trolls. Well, some of the bigger, actually, meaner looking trolls, if I'm being honest. A little bit of marble. And we got a cool deluxe Star-Lord. You know, $45, not bad. So, a lot of the newer stuff with Loki and that cool Tesseract. Still gotta watch that show. Next spot, we have some Star Wars again, and I had a nice healthy combination of things, but I absolutely love that they had almost all of these guys here. These are the figures for the 2003 Tartakovsky miniseries, and I absolutely love this. I have all of them now, so but it's still very, very cool to see. We got some more for the Saga collection, and moving on to this spot here, we got plenty of Transformers. We do have some Power Rangers. Remember, there was a lot of guests here for Power Rangers, so that definitely drove the merchandise that some of these vendors brought. I really like that metallic Red Ranger, but I think it was a little bit overpriced here. Some Godzilla versus Kong merch, and then we got a lot of the horror stuff here, and I'll let you guys take a look. coming over to the store that has a lot of stuff. As you can see here, we got some pretty cool lunch boxes like that GoBots one. Check this out. Depth charger, Centurion's weapon system in box, complete with inserts. 250 bucks. I wanted to buy that so bad, but no, couldn't do it. Demolition Man, and we got some Simpsons stuff. We got some Furbies, we got some classic G.I. Joe, a little bit of Star Wars, some dolls. We also got some of the vintage stuff with Shaq. Episode 1 figures. We got quite a bit of Gungans actually, and I don't remember that cannon, the Gungan cannon, to be honest with you. Some of the Power of the Force stuff too. Some Lucy goodness, and check that beautiful bandolier strap. The box was a little bit beat up, but you know, considering how old it is, not too bad. Bunch of assorted stuff, you know, some incomplete figures and things like that. A little bit more Star Wars Micro Machines, some Marvel goodness. Check out that Dune movie vehicle, very cool, and in box. Quite a feat, honestly. Don't see those. We got some Secret Wars stuff as well. Some Spawn up there. We got some of the bigger Marvel figures. Also some G.I. Joe, some Street Sharks, a little bit of Star Wars, some Barbie in the background. Like I said, a lot of Barbie in the show. We got a couple of Jabbas, very good looking boys. A lot more Lucy stuff. We got some mix of DC, Motu, Thundercats, Batman, Spider-Man, some vintage Star Wars stuff. Nothing too crazy, but in good shape, most of them. We also got a few vehicles, including a couple of mini rigs and these cool sort of like ornaments that are based off of episode 1 ships. We have some more Star Wars vintage. Look at that costume mask for C-3PO, very cool. And then we have some vintage figures with their respective cards, which is very cool. You get to display them together and they look very nice. So again, nothing too crazy, but it's always good to see something like that. We got some monsters, some classic from Universal, very cool. We got a power pad. Down here we got some awesome vintage G.I. Joe vehicles, and check out that vintage Slave 1. Pretty good shape overall, looked complete. We have the famous Hall of Justice with a few figures there. On the top for DC, we got Brainiac, Manhunter, and then just check out this section, guys. They had so many lines, so many lines, some that I have not seen in a long time. We got Turtles, we got Power Rangers, we got Star Wars, we got some Spawn, some Star Trek. Coming over to the other side, we have Judge Dredd figures, which I don't even remember seeing. We also have some Spawn, we have some Congo movies, we got some of the Flintstones, we have the Shadow, we have Robin Hood, we got Animorphs, a lot of the Simpsons, Skeleton Warriors, some of Star Wars, Micro Machines, X-Men Micro Machines, and a beautiful pack of Power Rangers Micro Machines, which I think I'm gonna end up picking up soon. Honestly, I really like those. Like I said, plenty of Simpsons. We got some Wild West up there. We also got Starbuck from Battlestar Galactica, and I'm not even sure what series that is from. We got some Nira, some Flash Gordon, Stargate, Hercules, Wildcats figures. When was the last time you guys saw a bunch of Wildcat figures? Cyber 9 figures, come on, seriously. And then we have these Tarzan figures, which I don't even remember that line, to be honest with you. We also had some more loose stuff, like the trolls that you see here, along with a lot of loose TMNT. Most of it without accessories, a little bit of vintage, but that's not all. We also had some aliens, and on the other wall we got the DC wall. A lot of stuff from the 90s, including a Steel movie figure. I don't even remember seeing those back then. like I said, most of these collections are from the 90s. So you got some Superboy, you got some Justice League, you got Batman, Superman, again mostly from the 90s, both from the comic books and the movies. Next side is Marvel, and you see a lot of Toy Biz stuff here. Once again, mostly from the 90s, plenty of X-Men, a little bit of Spider-Man, and we do have actually quite a lot of the X-Men movie figures, the first X-Men movie figures I should say. And they also got some bigger figures like Mojo. They have some Cabbage Patch as well. This spot was Star Wars galore. Check out this electronic Power of the Force 2 lightsaber. He had some lightsabers from 2002 collection as well, along with a whole other stuff. So spoiler alert, I did end up picking up something from this store. It belongs to a great collector by the name of Chris, who you will probably see in an upcoming documentary. Check out this very cool Evolution 3-pack. He also had quite a bit actually of the titanium figures. So if you remember these ones, they are all die cast, and some of them were not even painted. They were meant to, I guess, retain the metallic look. I always like these ones, but they do take up a lot of space. We had a lot of just random stuff, you know, as you see here, some parts, some boxes, you know, with some of the weapons for other figures, just some bins, you know, with a bunch of random stuff. This one in particular had some vintage figures, and for the most part they were in good shape, but of course, you know, it's very hard to find them with their actual accessories. Had some random, you know, bins with some wrestling, some, you know, promotional stuff, like, you know, the type of stuff that you get at a Happy Meal and things like that. Now, bags like this are kind of gold, you know, at these shows, because that's when you find the one piece you're missing to complete your set. Some cool DBC miniatures. I'm not sure they were official though, to be honest. And just some random stuff, right, in those bins. Look at this layer from Sectars. I forget the proper name of it. 650 bucks, but very cool. I don't know that I've seen one before. I think it's still missing a few pieces, but man, it is a rare sight to behold. The Hive, I believe it's called. We also got some DBC VHSs, of course, including the first live action for Dragon Ball. That movie is kind of psychedelic. We have some cool Gundam figures as well. I was tempted, to be honest. I kind of want to grow my Gundam collection, but I know that I have a lot of stuff already in the bins, right? And again, one of those very cool boxes or bags that, you know, just hold a bunch of accessories. I need to become more well versed into what weapon goes with which Gundam in this case, you know, because I'm sure there was some probably some really good pieces in there and just couldn't really identify them just by looking at them. So let me know down in the comments if you guys see a rare Gundam figure here, and because most of them were in good shape and for the most part I think complete. Like I said, I did thought about it, but yeah, no, I can't. Not right now anyway. Got a cool battle cat, of course, a classic, and some more random bins. Like I said, a lot of accessories at this store. Very, very cool. You know, if I had time, you know, would have gone more through them. And check this out, this set, Monsters in My Pocket. Very famous in Latin America, actually. But a very, very cool set. And that wasn't the only one. He actually has a second one in the box, and I believe it is complete. I think the price on that one is 500 bucks, and yep, it's a complete set. So very, very cool. Some Tiger Shark as well. We got Hammertail from Battle Brawlers. This guy had quite a bit, like I said, of just different lines represented. Of course, we know we go back into Star Wars with the Saga collection. Some Funko Pops, some Black Series, of course. A bin of random stuff, you know, for $5, some of that stuff was pretty good. But yeah, so like I said, I did end up picking up something from this guy because he is a true collector, which I always enjoy having conversations with him. But yeah, I'll show you that when we get back into the bunker. Hello there, troopers. So we are back here in the bunker, and man, Retromania this year was amazing. All right, so actually we were lucky enough to be involved, and by we I mean my friend from the Countdown City Geeks. So our friend Daniel from Legacy of Nerd was actually moderating panels both days, you know, interviewing a bunch of Power Rangers people. Our friend Tommy also got to interview Sergeant Slaughter and do a panel with him, which was great. So we were actually a lot more involved this year in the show, which was great. The toy hunting was awesome. I just kind of wish I had a little bit more time, you know, to do it, because again, we were kind of busy. You know, we had a booth at the show promoting, you know, the activities that we have, the different channels. We had giveaways. It was very, very fun. It was cool to talk to people, you know, and sort of explain what we do. The show was great. Those vendors are really, really good. They always bring some heat, honestly. I mean, just to see a carded Silverhawk figure, it's been a while. Okay, and that was great. Not to mention that very cool Centurion's weapon system. I wanted that thing. I really wanted that thing, but 250 bucks, we're already getting into like hot toy territory, right? And Centurions is a line that I really, really like, but it's not my main thing, right? So it was, everything was in there, complete, never assembled. The box technically was open because the tape had sort of torn over the years, but it was in really good shape. Let's get into what we actually did pick up. Now, we didn't pick up a whole lot, believe it or not, because I was trying to film, I guess, more than I was really shopping, but we still ended up picking up a couple of things. Let me show you. First up, from that great store that actually had the Silverhawk, I picked up this guy here. So, Peter Parker on the Spider-Man retro card. You guys know I'm a sucker for this, guys, and so I had to pick him up, and I have him. I kind of want the new version of Peter Parker, but it comes in that 2-pack, and I'm not too sure that I need both those figures. So yeah, again, you know, this is the only Marvel Legends I do collect. So yeah, I'm glad I got to pick this guy up from a great seller with a great store, actually. And so we actually got to talk for a few minutes. Very, very cool guy. He's usually in Austin, Texas. So he actually told me he drives down for this show because they always get a good turnout. Then our last pickup is from a store that you actually saw at the end of the video, where they had a bunch of cool Star Wars stuff, and we picked up this very cool Evolution 3-pack, basically the troopers, right, going from clone troopers to stormtroopers. And I picked it up, one, because hey, who doesn't like troopers, right? But this one is also a slight variation on the paint, and or I should say on the weathering of the stormtrooper. This guy has a little bit more paint when it comes to sort of like his weathering on his armor. So very, very cool. The guy was amazing. His name is Chris. Shout out to him. Very cool guy, very cool collector. He has a lot of good stuff. I'm hoping to talk to him more here in the future. But yeah, so this is what we picked up as well. And that's it, troopers. Light on the pickups, like I said, because we were kind of busy. We were kind of running around throughout the show. I'm glad I got to film as much as I did so that I could at least give you a taste of how much stuff is at that show. So if you're ever in the New Braunfels area around this time of year, make sure that you check out Retromania. So thank you so much for Scott, the showrunner, for helping us out, for letting us be a part of the show, and for letting us be part of next shows. So stay tuned for that, okay? Please don't forget to leave your like on this video. Subscribe if you haven't. Thank you so much if you already have. Leave me in the comments, what would you have picked up? Would you have paid $250 for that Centurion's weapon system in box? Very minty. Would you have picked up the Centaur's lair, the Hive, sorry, for $500? Would you have picked up those awesome Ahsoka Tano lightsabers in their special edition box? Again, let me know down in the comments what you would have walked away with. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.